Evening, freaks. I'm here to give you a weekly wild card collective vibe check read, and we are truly going wild card for this week's read. I haven't done a reading with this deck like this in quite a while. It's been a while, but the circumstances definitely call for it. So I'll have to go back. I'll have to look. I think it was a Libra read. So Libra might be at the front and center of the action going down this week. Libra natives, do take heed, or anywhere you have strong Libra in your chart. I feel like it's a very interesting time. There's a lot of stuff coming around full circle. This is a combination of three different decks, okay? And I've done this before. This is the Angel Tarot, the Occult Tarot, and then I also threw in the Arcane Bullshit deck for just a little flavor, a little spice. It feels like a little bit of a spicy week. It's multi-layered. There's so many different elements in play this week. We are going to dive into those. I do feel the occult vibes coming forward this week. I do think there's some people that have been playing on that level. The thing is a lot of people worry about people who do workings, and can workings affect you? Yeah, workings can affect you. Okay, if somebody is like directing negative energy your way, purposefully, intentionally, if you have permeable boundaries, or if you've just been, kind of just like out of your element, if you're feeling in a more anxiety space, or you haven't been getting enough sleep, or in general, just haven't been showing up for yourself, and you're not drawing down good boundary lines, you can take on this energy, and you would know if you have been in that space, okay? Because you would feel the compromising of your vitality. You would feel kind of like you're sluggish, run down. You might find that you feel really activated. We have to remember a lot of the collective is waking up to higher levels of consciousness at this time. There's a lot of expansion going on. We are moving into the age of Aquarius, and we are at the tail end of the Kali Yuga. So it's just kind of a sign of the time. So a lot of people are starting to awaken. A lot of people are experiencing towers. Towers have a way of kind of blasting you open. We did have Pluto go into Aquarius. We got Mercury moving forward now. Okay, so that's going to change things up a bit. There's going to be some forward progression. Things won't be as stalled, but we have to really look at the other elements in play. So it's like, things are moving forward, but they're also moving forward into that expansion. And some of that expansion is disruptive. So people still feel kind of activated. People still feel kind of lit. And there's a lot of, karma playing out. We're all going through it. Nobody's immune to it. We're all having to own our past actions. Okay. So let's all try to be a little compassionate as we move through this cycle. Try to give each other a little breathing room as we move through this cycle, a little more extra understanding. But it's very, very likely that you're experiencing some interesting elements in play in your life at this time. And if you are somebody who feels like maybe somebody's been doing some workings against you, and some people think that, oh, that's just all make believe. But if you know, you know. If you know, you know. If you work with the occult arts, you know how people can get, what people can do. You also know that if you're not minding your path, if you're not doing your work, if you're not regularly purifying, if you're not working your magic in a way that is clean, and it doesn't have all kinds of strings attached, it can get messy. Okay. Definitely got like this cosmic lasagna vibe going on. It's multi-layered right now, many, many layers to what's happening right now. But I do want to make that clear that, nobody really has the power to hex you. They don't. I mean, not really. You can cross yourself for sure. And I think most of the time that that's what it is. Okay. Crossed conditions are when you have such a fear about something, such an anxiety over something, that you kind of create that reality for yourself. And you can really talk yourself into this victimization, okay? But you have total control over what you allow into your space. You have free will around what you engage in, what you take on, all of this. And there's a piece of accountability in this here, and just really running your energy in a certain way, where you don't ever feel like somebody is fucking with you. Okay. I will put another link too in this read in the comments. I'll pin it in the comments, where I include a link to the return to sender topic read that I did, spiritual warfare. Okay, it's a talk on spiritual warfare. I go a little more deeply into that there, and I think it's something that's helpful for right now. I think there's a lot of that playing out. I do think that when workings play out, if somebody had negative intention with the workings they were doing, I do feel like eventually, there is a mirror effect, and you have to kind of like own the shadow of that action. I think a lot of that is happening. I also think that in general, there's a lot of manipulation going on right now in the collective. And I also feel there's a lot of kiss up energy. There's a lot of people that are starting to feel the sting, like we talked about with that Scorpio full moon. They're feeling the stinger. They're feeling that shadow side of what happens when you don't move correctly. And because of that, there's a lot of this sort of like finessing energy that's in the atmosphere. There's a lot of people suddenly, just being on their best behavior and just oh so friendly and accommodating. So do be on the lookout for this as well. And it's just a very interesting time. I thought it required an interesting deck. Obviously, I can't shuffle the deck this big. I already did shuffle this deck, all right, but I'm just going to, in front of you all right now, I'm going to cut it into three separate times, and then I'll continue to do another little shuffle here. And we'll get into it, all right? This read is going to be for the collective. When I call out signs in the read, it's for any strong placements, okay? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node, Mercury, Mars, Saturn, Pluto, or a loaded house for that sign. I was going to do this live today. I didn't feel like it. The energy feels really big. It feels really expansive. I didn't want to have to like kind of like navigate the downloads coming in with manning the chat, but I will be going live later in the week. Okay. I want to bring something in later in the week and talk about some stuff I've been wanting to introduce here. All right. So I'll have a live coming in, but this is pre-recorded. I will be in the live chat, so you all are welcome to hop in and visit with me. I'm there to, discuss what's coming up here. There we go. We're going to work with this section of the deck, and this is the only deck I'll be working with in this read. So as I want to bring out more cards, I'll just take off another chunk of the deck. All right. So let's get to shuffling these. What's on the bottom of this deck? Page of Pentacles. Okay, so we're getting schooled. The piper needs to be paid. I got that, It's like, okay, it's time to pay the price for some of the actions we took back there. It's time to get schooled a little bit. It's time to learn some lessons. You might be getting some news you weren't expecting to receive. This could be concerning an earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, okay? We got loyalty and allegiance, friendship and reconciliation. So these are themes that are in play. I feel like this is what's coming in. I feel like we're learning who is loyal to us and what we're loyal to. I think we're aligning ourselves with sort of the people we know that have our back, have been there for us. I think we're looking at these things with a more discerning eye, like who's really showed up for us when it's counted. This is something that's really important. There may be some cases where you've had falling outs with certain friends, but Something's happening right now where people are proving that, they've seen things differently. They're coming to some kind of awareness. They're making amends. They're wanting reconciliation. There's also that piece I was talking about, about people wanting to kind of like, come around and be on their best behavior because they know they didn't do you so right back there. So this is sort of what's coming forward. Okay. I feel like a lot of people are getting news, people reaching out to them saying that they are, they're in your corner or they support you in some way. There's some kind of news of support, some type of news around coming together with others with a common focus, a common goal, a common cause. And there's also this piece here about people reaching out saying, hey, I want to tell you about what happened back there, and I really hope we can get back on the same page. Okay, so let's see what is coming in for the collective. This is for Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Ophiuchus, Sagittarius. Tessin, I don't know. You feeling salty, Sag? Is Sag feeling salty about something? Maybe. Ten just whimpered a little bit. Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces. What is the weekly vibe check for the collective? What energies are in play this week? How can we take best advantage of them? What are the right moves for us to make? Please give us guidance, Spirit, about how we need to navigate the energies in play for this week ahead. All right, and these want to come together. This is another piece. I feel like there's a lot of stuff that's coming together in kind of awkward ways or unexpected ways. Maybe you saw things coming together a specific way. It's not coming together quite the way you planned. Maybe there's something also a little tongue-in-cheek about this. There's something that's kind of humorous about it. In some cases, it's a little humorous because people thought that they were kind of like getting away with certain behavior. And then when they see how things turn out, they realize they kind of like, they worked a little coyote medicine on themselves. Coyote medicine, I always like to think of Wile E. Coyote going after that road runner, his nemesis, the road runner, and just thinks he's like so smart. He's going to outwit the road runner, he's going to best the road runner, but he always ends up like screwing himself, and still he never learns. It's like the same old thing again and again. And it's like, this is the stuff that's really going to trip us up during this cycle because we're being asked to really think outside the box and do things very differently. All right, yeah, we got a card coming out in the reverse. We got the Emperor in reverse, right? The Emperor's got no clothes, and he don't look too happy about it. He's a little sour. He's been put on hold. He wants to move forward, but now he's got some stuff to take care of. Look at this face. He is just over it, exasperated. The Emperor, Mikhail, like unto God. And remember, it was in reverse. So political authority gives safe travel and protects against conspiracy. So, with this in reverse, we know that conspiracy theories are running high. Everybody's got an opinion about what is going on right now. They all got their own stories, their own takes, their own paranoias. Paranoia will destroy you. There is a lot of assumption out there in the atmosphere right now. It's always the best policy that if you're hearing something through the grapevine, you should automatically, right off the bat, know that there's probably some distortion in play. There is a lot of emotional manipulation going on right now. With this political authority piece here, when I think about politics, I just think about it's always about choosing sides, right? And there's always some kind of manipulation involved. This is somebody abusing their authority to sort of sway public opinion. This is happening on a micro level, like, within your own friendships, connections, your communities, but also on a macro level. We see it happening globally. Definitely, we're watching this play out. Okay, so there's agendas in play. That's natural to be at the tail end of Kali Yuga and see this stuff coming out. I also feel like where you're wanting to move forward, there's this piece where, somebody's having trouble moving forward. Somebody who, tried to control things too much is having a hard time moving forward. Maybe they thought they had things under control. Now they're having to sort out all this conspiracy theory shit. They're having to like sort through all this like backbiting stuff. That's what I feel like. Somebody made a big mess. They thought they had control of a situation, and now it's like this big cosmic lasagna. Everything's become so convoluted, multi-layered, that it's just like this big mess sorting it out. And everybody has made it more complicated because this is what happens when people aren't upfront, when people aren't honest, okay? When they don't just let things be seen plain as day, it leads to all this assumption, and that assumption spirals out of control, okay? And soon everybody has their own agendas, they have their own factions, they have their own takes, and it's just being parroted, and it causes so much confusion and so much dissension. I think somebody here, with this being in reverse, I have to say, I think somebody, does kind of delight in this a little bit. It does have a little bit of that, like, throw rocks and then hide your hands kind of vibe to it. This may even be somebody who's kind of like, they're siding with you now. I don't know why I'm getting this. Like they're siding with you now. They want to align themselves with you now. And they're kind of like pretending to be in this space of exasperation, right alongside you. Maybe you're really tired of dealing with the situation. Here comes somebody and they're kind of like putting on this front, like they're exasperated with the situation too, but really they're the ones who started it. That's what I got. They're the ones who started it, and they don't even want to do this. They don't want to have to do this, but it's sort of like they have to swallow their pride and do this because it's such a mess that now it's impeding them from being able to move forward to what they wanted to do. Yeah, it's like they realized that what they thought they were giving birth to was nothing but a dead end with giving birth to a skull here, okay? There's some kind of transformation happening here. You haven't heard from this person in a while. You haven't been actively connected to this person in a while. This may have been somebody that you were intimate with as well. This could be like a past lover coming back around the bend, wanting to transform things with you, saying they're wanting to transform things with you. I mean, you do have to be aware of a silver tongue there. Maybe this person had a silver tongue, okay? I think that there is definitely something to be aware of in this situation. There's something about, a certain stance you need to take when approaching this individual. I don't know why, but maybe it's because it's the emperor in reverse as well. But this steak is making me think of like alpha male. And like with the fish here, I think you're going to think it's kind of fishy when this person reaches out to you. You remember what happened last time. I think you're also tempted by this individual, but you know that they can deceive you too. And they do with this mushroom here. I mean, I don't know. Maybe this has something to do with their member. I don't know. You like their mushroom. This could also be that you kind of feel this person can sort of cloud your judgment. They do have a certain like energetic sway on you. I think you're going to hear from this person with it being the rotary phone. Some of you don't even remember these, okay? But I grew up when we had these before there ever were cell phones. This might be somebody from way back, way back, and you might need to get grounded, okay, in this situation. And there's also this piece about Remember your power too. That's what I think. You're in the process of birthing a lot of, new beginnings in your life. So you have to be mindful. Do you want to go through another round of this? Are you wanting to transform this? Are you wanting to bring this back from the dead? Okay. There's a lot to consider here. We got the flying man, right? So somebody is taking a leap. All right. And I do believe the flying man is this emperor that's been in reverse. Maybe he jumped out of the frying pan into the fire. Now, before his goose gets cooked, he feels like he kind of needs to come in and help you, help him. I don't know why I got that vibe. Like he's gonna bring it in, like, let me help you, but you're helping him too. You might be saving his ass, all right? That might be the proposition on the table. It also might be kind of hard for this person to come forward and be like, all right, I confess. It's got this kind of vibe to me. I do think that this person is interested in reunion with the Two of Cups, does definitely have love vibes. This is something that's really been burdening them with the 10 of Wands coming up after that. And I think with the Five of Pentacles here, they're tired of being shut out. They really are. They're tired of being shut out. They realize, King Fancy here realizes that when he was a penis weasel, kind of just thinking with that mushroom, that maybe he really, sabotaged himself, that he had the keys to the kingdom and then it got taken away. And look at these vibes with him sitting on this person again. This is like somebody who really took advantage of their position, felt like they had power, authority, control over people, maybe really kind of took advantage of somebody, and maybe now the tables are turned. It's like he's seeing this kingdom's about to be stripped away from him. He's starting to think twice about it. Something's ending here. To me, this looks like a tower falling. It also can look like a fall from grace, right? Somebody may be falling from grace. So many fallen angels. There's always the opportunity to be saved, but nobody saves us. We save ourselves, right? But we do see here that, somebody, they did a little sneaking around, playing the field, maybe unprotected. Somebody might be dealing with some health issues around that. You might be sort of leery about connecting with somebody intimately if you suspect that they've been playing the field and now they're coming around, they're all hot and heavy. But I do feel like this is a situation where things are karmically being balanced out here, okay? It's very much like your enemies will become your footstool kind of vibes, all right? And that's what I got with this. I want to go ahead and read the little quotes on these cards, because though they represent what they represent in the tarot, they also have some additional meanings. So with this Two of Cups, with this reconciliation offer that's coming in, this reunion offer to get a relationship or a friendship back on the same, on a good foot, back on the same level where you feel like you're meeting each other. We got this here fruition provides expansive intelligence and gives the grace of God. Okay, so we do see in some cases here people who are meant to be together are being brought together, and perhaps these people were divided by some kind of lie, some type of gossip, some type of slander or misconception, misunderstanding, confusion, maybe caused by others, maybe caused by outside forces manipulating in the situation. I mean, we can't ignore with this piece here with the penis weasel that, I mean, somebody may have been fooling around for sure. All right. Somebody may have been fooling around for sure. Somebody also may have contracted something, maybe somebody had pulled away sexually for a while and their partner didn't understand why. Well, maybe the reason they did is because they had been fooling around. They came down with something. There's some kind of truth coming out, but I also feel like for a lot of people, this is just what's coming to light, you know? This kind of like the way that when we're unconscious about how we use our sexual energy, when we have, leaky Shakti, or when we're indiscriminate in this regard about how we connect on that level, who we connect with on that level, the way that it can really, we can kind of put ourselves in a bind. We can put ourselves in a bind. I think we're starting to see this with that torch, we're getting another look at this. We're also understanding like who ran off? Who ran off with the penis here? Like who's been getting all the D? Like who's been getting the D on the down low? I do feel like this energy is coming forward, and there's a reason why I wanted to use this deck. This is the kind of vibe coming forward right now. It's very blunt. It's very straightforward. It's very no nonsense. Like we're not going to tolerate any more kind of like talking around things. It's time to just be up and out with it. With this Five of Pentacles, wanting to come out of the cold, wanting to earn their way back in. This kiss of energy that came in. It says um, Achakya, the forbearing god, patience, reveals secrets of nature, spreads knowledge and industry. Okay, so I think that things are about to be illuminated for you. All right, I think somebody again is going to share with you why they did what they did, what they've been up to, at least their version of it. Okay, with truth, there's always your side, my side, and then somewhere in between. It's really hard to get to a place of absolute truth because everybody absolutely has their own take on the truth based on their personal experiences. So you might need to have a lot of patience hearing this person out as they reveal their secrets. You might have to exhibit a lot of tolerance. It might not be easy. I think you suspected this though. I mean, just look on the face of this weasel, like kind of like looking back, like, I don't know, man. I mean, maybe you thought of burning this bridge with what you've been suspecting. Maybe you'll want to burn this bridge after you hear about this. I do feel like this is a situation that has been very overwhelming for the collective for a long time. I do also think that the collective is very tired, worn out, sick and tired of people keeping them in the dark, just wanting to know what the heck is going on in some cases so they can have all the information and move forward freely, especially now that we got this, Mercury direct energy going on. But we're still in eclipse season, and that's not going to wrap up until October 14th. So we got a lot of time for this to play out. And in terms of this not knowing, feeling burdened by not knowing, feeling like we're in the dark. We got coming in here in Nail, God humiliating the proud. Okay, spiritual communication influences religious men, teachers, and men of law. So I really feel like there's a lot of spiritual support for those of you who have been, doing the work. You've been sweeping your side of the street clean. And I think because of this, you're going to be able to really understand where you can drop some of the burden, and maybe you've been just like carrying too much that you don't need to hold anymore. Do you really need to carry all this baggage about what happened back there? Is it worth it? All this weighing you down. I mean, if the truth hasn't been forthcoming, like why have you held yourself up for so long? You should always know what you're dealing with. You should always feel like you're in the picture in your connections and situations you're involved in. Men of law, this is just like really making me think of like any kind of legal agreements you've entered into, any contracts you've entered into as well, that you should know what's going on. Maybe you feel like you've been working a lot, maybe you feel like in some cases in terms of like your career, like you've been working really hard, you've been doing a lot of work, and you've been doing it under contract, and yet at the same time you feel like you didn't necessarily agree to this in your contract. There's something about not having all the details, maybe feeling like you're kind of being undercut in a contract. Okay. I think there's a lot of support for working through issues where you've been denied, that truth, the truth that would set you free. Some of you are having certain things illuminated about contractual agreements that you're not in alignment with. I feel like you got some kind of support coming in that illuminates things and allows you to successfully renegotiate here. Okay. I picked that up. Ted just gave an affirmation on that. Okay. So I think this is definitely true. I also feel like, you know, where you have been, doing the right thing and you feel like you just haven't had the support that you've needed. And it looked like everybody just kind of had a free for all and got to get away with some bad behavior back there. And you've been feeling like, where's my support? Why am I carrying such a heavy load here? I think that you're going to understand why things needed to be like that. The test it was for you, what it cultivated in you, what qualities it awakened in you. I'm picking up a lot about resilience. Nobody likes that, but having resilience is a very valuable skill on the spiritual path. And it's just the nature of the beast. You will be tested. There's times on your path that you will have your feet put to the fire, all right? And it's really about, are you ready to take this path? And that's an interesting message for this to come out here for me because, when I look at that phallus, I look at, that energy of the masculine. I'm looking at the avenue, the way forward, the path, the way. It makes me think of Shiva for some reason. It's making me think of Shiva, the impregnator of new worlds, maybe because we had, this card back here giving birth to a skull, very much creator, destroyer energy. This in play that within destruction, there's also creation. They're two sides of the same coin. Okay. So these are all elements coming into play. I feel like there's a lot balancing out this week. I think relationships are really at the forefront, really at the forefront. Okay. What's coming in for the collective this week? We got kind of a baseline energy there. What does the collective need to be prepared for this week? How are things going to be playing out for the collective this week? Takeda Hawk, bye bye. So we definitely know there's that spirit communication. That's what hawk medicine is. It's messages from spirit. It's pay attention. All of life is communicating to you. The signs are there, but you'll miss them if you're not looking for them. And something just fell on the floor there. So let's see what this is. What are we not looking out for? Seven of Swords. Yeah, it's that, throwing rocks, hiding your hands kind of energy. Like somebody did something, out of pocket back there. They're trying to cover it up. I did pick up big kiss up energy. Like let's just pretend that didn't happen back there, and we're all good, right? Seven of Swords, Manacel, God nurturing and maintaining everything. Knowledge of good and evil appeases divine anger. Cures epilepsy as well. I feel like this is what's awakening. You're getting the score. You're getting the score and you're settling the score as well. There's something that's coming forward here though. I really pick up this piece. Like a lot of you have been struggling greatly. Like you feel like, all right, this is cool. I'm working my path. But what I'm seeing a lot of people acting real shady and they seem to be getting ahead. And why is it that I'm really doing the work, and I'm doing my best to own my peace? And I feel like I'm the one struggling. I'm in the dark. I don't know what's going on. There's something that comes through this week that kind of quells any sense of frustration you've been having. Some of you may have been starting to get pissed off with spirit. You might have. You might have had some Lieutenant Dan moments, okay? And if you all say you never get to that place, you know you're full of it. We all are human. We all are human. When we're tested, we don't like being tested. I've had Lieutenant Dan moments on my path for sure, So if you've been experiencing that, if you've been feeling like maybe even just ripped off by spirit, some of you feel like, look, I got the memo. You told me what I needed to do. I did everything you asked me to do, Spirit, and I'm still sitting here waiting to be free from this nonsense. Like, what's up? Some of you do need to free yourself. You need to stop waiting for the rescue. Maybe that's the lesson that you're not getting. You're waiting for a spirit to save your ass, and you need to save yourself, okay? I do want to see what this Seven of Swords is about for the collective, because yes, it certainly can be people working against you, not operating fairly with you, but this can also be the ways you sabotage yourself. So what is this Seven of Swords? Give me clarity about this Seven of Swords for the collective spirit. What do we need to know about this Seven of Swords that's being illuminated this week? Give us some guidance about this Seven of Swords. What do we need to know about this Seven of Swords and the way it's playing out? Ooh, we got a little shadow and light coming in there. Okay, so I think something is being transformed. Something's coming out of the crossroads, and it landed over all of these cards just like this. So coming out of the crossroads. Ten of Swords to the Page of Wands. Okay, fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. This is news from a fire sign. So, it's interesting. We had a Page of Pentacles, we had a Page of Wands. So we know, like, who are the characters that might be coming towards us this week? Who are the characters that might be initiating communications, taking action to, talk about things, try to work things out. We had Earth earlier, so Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. We got fire here now, so Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. We have to remember in the beginning when I brought in like Sagittarius energy, Ted whimpered a little bit. So maybe Sagittarius is having to open up some kind of communication that rather not deal with, or somehow kind of awkward or uncomfortable. Okay, but I do feel this communication is coming forward. It could be communication about an ending, bringing something to light about an ending, because this Ten of Swords here is coming up in light, all right? And, there's something here with the Page of Wands in the shadow where this fire sign is, I feel they're feeling burdened by this. There's something uncomfortable about them having to approach and discuss this. It says gives answers concerning past, present, and future, can make one invisible. Oof. Okay, I got kind of like an interesting piece here. I do feel like this person wants to come back around. They want to talk about why things ended the way they did back there. There's something that they want to illuminate. I think that you're going to have a lot of questions for this person, and I think this person is going to tell you everything that you want to know. I do pick this up. This energy didn't come out in reverse, okay? Neither of these cards did, and they are moving on the upswing. So I feel like where things have been held up, maybe you didn't know what was going on for a long time, you're about to be illuminated, all right? With this can make one invisible, when you hear what this person has to say, you may just want to you may feel like bailing, to be honest with you. Some of you may, just want to bail. You might not be happy about what you hear, okay? And it might be really hard for this person to own up to some of this stuff. So there is this piece about being mindful. Don't match energy, okay? Like if this person went ghost on you in the past, maybe that's what they're illuminating to you. Why they cut you off so abruptly, why they shut you out, why they let you be out in the cold, why they went ghost, why they stopped answering your calls, why they stopped all of these are like themes that are coming forward, right? You might feel like going tit for tat. I don't recommend that. Try to just hold the space to at least understand. It's not often you get to have somebody take accountability, come forward and want to talk about these things. All right. So there's something about open your mind a little bit and open your eyes, keep your eyes open, all right, with this Ten of Swords here, Luia, the marvelous God, revelation, protects from sadness, gives revelations and dreams. All right. And I do feel like there's a lot that's coming up in the subconscious too. So do look for some information coming through when you're dreaming, when you're in the dream state at night, when you're more relaxed, when you can sort of sink into your energy and shake off the cares of the day. Meditation would be very valuable right now too, and I think it could be very wise to maybe keep a little dream journal, even if it's just something like you shoot down in a text on your phone, a little memo on your phone, so you can kind of remember some of the symbolism coming through in your dreams, because that's how our dreams are so beneficial. They help us see things we couldn't normally see by speaking to us through archetypal imagery. I think that whatever this person reveals to you, though, actually, if you can just, refrain from the urge to bolt, okay? Maybe you're scared to hear the truth. That could be coming through for a lot of the collective, too. Maybe you're scared to really hear this truth. You don't know, how it will affect you. But I think that you're going to find that what you hear actually relieves any fear you had about um, what you're informed about causing some kind of grief or hurt. I feel like at the very least, what you hear, it's like it's something that you were already prepared for, even the tough stuff. So you've had some space to sort of, you've had some space to prepare yourself for this communication that's coming in. And do look for insight from your dreams as this opens up, because I feel like when this communication comes in, it's going to open up a lot of the different layers, um, emotionally. It's that cosmic lasagna. Okay, so there's something higher happening here. You're in like this spiritually cathartic process right now with these individuals that are coming back around. There's something that's being transformed here. And with the Ten of Swords coming up in the light, we know that what ends brings an opportunity for a new beginning. In fact, by the time we get to the Ten of Swords, it's something to be grateful for, because the Ten of Swords means this mental conflict, this unrest, this anxiety, this stress, this burden. It's coming to an end. It's being relieved. There's illumination happening here. I'm going to take another cut of this deck and we'll see what other messages want to come out. I'm really curious, like what's on the other side of this Ten of Swords. Okay, something is basically getting cleared out. There's communication coming in that provides clarity. You're no longer going to be in the dark. You're going to understand what happened back there. There's going to be some truths revealed. Some of them, you know, I ain't gonna lie, some of them bring a tower, some of them are rough, some of them hurt, but it's necessary to face these truths to get to the other side and the new beginning that becomes possible as a result. I feel like whatever dies, something new is born from that. And you'll be grateful for this transformation. I mean, it's arduous, right? It's arduous giving birth to a new life. I mean, I got Ted is like grumbling around back here. So I know that some of this is going to be a little bit grumbly, okay? You might not like everything you hear. And also, those of you who are coming forward to speak some truth to someone, I think you're sort of like, you're a little begrudging about it. I don't know why, but it gives me the vibe of like somebody having to go to the principal's office. Bottom of the deck energy. Yeah, Aunt Brenda, look at this. School's in session. Do you understand the assignment? Look at this, She's got this guy and she's gonna hold him to it. She has some questions, Um, There's a lot transforming here. Look what that snake latched onto the teat, that's all about some kind of transformation happening. Um, this is not the best way to address this kind of, communication. I can see how that could be the tendency to, want to go there. But I also feel like, this isn't about like this isn't about like the ringing of the bell for another round. This is not about furthering the conflict. Okay. This is about bringing in a little bit more nurturing. That's the snake is highlighting to us what we need to bring more of into this situation in order for there to be transformation. Some of you women out there may be trying to control a situation too much. You need to bring in a little bit more personal nurturing and understand why you're doing this. Why are you trying to take control of things so much? Why are you trying to be more in this like masculine kind of stance, and take the reins and sort of feel like, you have to be the one that has the stronghold in the situation. There's a need for some nurturing here. There's a need to like hear people out. I think everybody is being schooled in this situation. I really got that. And there's something about, I mean, I do see this piece, like I feel like it's got that Aunt Brenda energy, like I want to school you, school's in session. I do feel that. Like, and there's something here about needing to soften a little bit more. Um, what guidance do you have for us about this? Where are we needing to bring more nurturing in relation to these conversation, in relation to these, situations that are coming in to be resolved? Because obviously school's in session, I got that. And again, it's multi-layered. It was 46:44 on the clock when I said that. So yeah, this is about ending an old cycle and also an old way of doing things so that there can be a manifestation and a moving forward. We got a raptor riding a dolphin into space. It's the liminal space, we're in that liminal space. Raptors are very much of the land and dolphins are of the sea, and we're balancing some things out. And it also, with that moon there, it's really making me think of, when we shoot for the moon, we have certain goals we want to reach, but um, different people might have different ideas when you're trying to come together with another, what that looks like. Some of you may feel like you got a lot of emotional flow, you're able to be more forward thinking, you're able to go with the flow. Maybe you're kind of happy go lucky, maybe you're a person who just sort of takes things easy. You just swim with it. You don't fight things. You don't have a difficulty going to the deep places. But maybe you feel like you're dealing with somebody who's kind of like a dinosaur, they're old, they're stuck in their ways. Um, they have a hard time moving more into this sort of like fluidity. They have a hard time getting in touch with their emotions. They tend to be very by the book. They tend to be, one of these people always brings up, well, this happened and that happened, and they get stuck in these rigid places where they feel like they have to have control of the conversation. They have a hard time going to that place of sensitivity. They have a hard time shining the light into those darker places, the subconscious, understanding the way their subconscious can kind of work against them at times when it comes to them holding everything in emotionally out of a false sense of it gives them some kind of control. um, I feel like there's also this piece coming in with dolphin medicine, and it is a raptor riding a dolphin in space. I mean, cosmic lasagna because it's multi-layered, right? But I also feel like it's very expansive right now. And I think we need to understand that, there's people that are really embracing new ways of communicating and new ways of expressing themselves emotionally. And it's not always easy to make these kinds of changes and to step into a whole new way of interacting. It takes time for this kind of transformation. So, give it some space, give it some breathing room. Dolphin medicine is all about prana. Okay, it's about really being able to use the prana to expand the consciousness, to make it safer to move into these higher levels of consciousness. And also, as you're reaching for this expansion and as you're diving into these emotional waters with this person, do also be aware that you can get activated, okay? When you bump up against your old stuff and the places where you're stuck and you have your tunnel vision and are stuck at looking at the way things have always been and dragging up ancient history. There's something about being more present and bringing in a little bit more playfulness into the process, not making it so heavy, making it safe space to enter into these dynamic conversations. And if you do, the expansion that y'all can move into, it's powerful. Okay, it's really powerful. It can be totally transformational. Cut of the deck energy, we have the decision maker. And I love this with the way this is coming out here because, again, I can see too that, the feminine can be a bit in control right now, trying to control the emotions by sort of disconnecting disconnecting from the heart, from the nurturing quality. And we really need to be able to come into all of us, no matter how you identify, okay? All of us need to come into that more feminine quality of receptivity, softening, not being so guarded, not being aggressive, not trying to control things, being able to sink into that watery element, go with the flow a little bit more. You know, it might be time, to kind of lose your head for a little bit. Maybe that's what you need to cut yourself off from this ball of confusion, all these thoughts that you're repeatedly repetitively going. Hey, we're still in the shadow of Mercury retrograde, so, and we know communications aren't necessarily going to be easy. People are going to trip over the words a bit. It's going to be a little bit awkward. But I really see this as, these thoughts that you've repetitively gone over in your mind, looking at situations over and over again, tying your consciousness up in knots. And when you've done that, you can get to this place where you're so myopic. You can only look at a certain situation a certain way because you've worked it up into this massive knot, and maybe it's time to kind of like cut that off and, sort of sort through it. And I feel like that's what's happening here. It's like sorting through things so you can see things clearly. You're going to know if there's something you need to cut off. If you feel like this person comes forward, all of a sudden you're thrown into confusion. You go back into this place of feeling tied up in knots. Use your brain and the wisdom you've gained from the experiences you've been through, and don't forget who you are. Okay, cut off that nonsense. I also think this is about really cutting off any kind of confusion that leads to these kinds of states of being. Make sure that things are very clear from the start. And if you see the direction of the communication is heading that way, call it out, cut it off right then and there. It's up to you to really hold court, for yourself over these proceedings. So, you feel empowered in the communication. Here we go. More communication. Communication from the heart coming forward here. We got Page of Cups. Stolas teaches astronomy and the values of herbs and precious stones. And we got this Al energy coming in here. So again, it's coming up in the shadow. So this reminds us, of really being able to see through the dark, if you're feeling like you're in the dark, like you don't have all the answers here, it's time for you to sort of, invoke a little more of that higher knowledge, that high priestess knowledge. This might be coming in very strongly for Pisces. This is water sign energy, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. There's something about understanding what's operating on a subconscious level, and maybe even looking at your reactions in these sort of ways. I also feel like some of you truly would benefit from maybe putting together like some kind of like some mojo bag that you can kind of wear on your person with your own herbs and stones, whatever speaks to you. You can even put a petition in there if you like. Red flannel is traditional, and you can just like bundle everything up, tie it off, feed it with a little smoke, feed it with a little smoke every now and then to keep the spirit of the bag happy. Tobacco is a fine offering, it's considered spirit candy. You might want to just do this to kind of get back in touch with your own energy, back in touch with your intuition. You may have dealt with somebody that you had to cut off because you feel like they really severed you from this. It could have been a Queen of Pentacles. All right. We got Earth sign energy factoring strongly. And we got Knight of Wands, right? Coming up with that, and Ace of Wands, Six of Pentacles after that. Judgment. Okay. Yeah, the digging ghost. All right, so there's something here that needs to be cleansed and purified. This is a Queen of Pentacles energy, Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Hagenti makes one wise and teaches everything, can turn any metal into gold, transmutes water into wine. So there's a need for some alchemy here, Earth. Okay, there's something that needs to be transformed here. All right, there's some type of lesson to learn. I feel like a shadow tendency is being transformed, and this is also about the shadow work we need to do, rising up out of that Scorpio South node into that Taurus North node. There's a Knight of Wands coming in association with this. That's fire sign energy. It was 56:56 on the clock when I said that. That's 11:11. This could be somebody who wants to come into alignment. This person may be very sexually motivated with the Ace of Wands. They want to work together with you with the Six of Pentacles. This may be what is illuminated, that a fire sign or somebody took an action toward this Queen of Pentacles, and that there was some kind of like hookup energy, fair energy, third party influence coming in. Yeah, it says here with the Knight of Wands, protection prevents discovery of secret crimes, saves exiles. Somebody's trying to cover up, and I believe that that's what the kiss up is about. And with the Ace of Wands, it says teaches holy secrets, instructs how to make weapons, and the art of seduction. So yeah, somebody has a hidden agenda here for sure, and they're using like sexual enticement as a way to achieve their means, and it could be a Queen of Pentacles. Okay, did come up in relation to this. All right, looks like it appears an emotional offer, but it's manipulative, coming up in the shadow. All right, and that Ace of Wands that's being offered is coming up in the shadow too. So with that penis weasel, you got to be aware of the D right now. And we do have coming up next on the bottom of the deck, man pouring water over an eyeball. This is my purification, need for spiritual cleansing card. There's something that's not being seen here correctly. The vision is not clear. And this also could be the need to like do some protective work, like protect your energy. If somebody doesn't feel right to you, protect your energy. This is somebody coming around that's digging up old ghosts, all right? Digging up old ghosts with the occult influence that came in. This could be somebody who's been digging around at the graveyard. Maybe they do that kind of work, working with graveyard dirt. You got to be careful with that, because if you don't know what you're doing, you don't do it properly, there can be issues. Okay. And then we got Six of Pentacles. Yeah, something's coming out here. Something's coming out. Something is coming out here. Six of Pentacles, divine grace, cures rage and pestilence, absolves the guilty. Okay. So I feel like there is some coming forward. An old ghost is getting dug up. You know, something that happened in the past is coming to light. And there's judgment around this, and you play your role in this judgment. Are you going to let this person back into your life? God hidden in darkness. Atonement of errors destroys the power of enemies and humiliates them. Whoever did you wrong is going to be held